I'll be up to my nuts in some guts, shagging those two sisters from Caravan Club. It's the Canberra Sands meeting this weekend, which is always like a massive orgy.
In what sport does Fanny Schmeller compete for Germany? A. Swimming, B. Show jumping, or C. Skiing?
Gentlemen, you have heard all the evidence presented before you today, but in the end, it is up to the conscience of your hearts to decide. And I firmly believe that, like me, you will conclude that Captain Blackadder is, in fact, totally and utterly guilty.
It is wonderful that they've taken the trouble to get me out of bed and get me along here and to give me this lovely prize for something which, you know, is such a joy to do. Great crew, nice stories, wonderful dog, and very enjoyable.
Well, I wouldn't be ashamed to be liking to them. They were great characters for many, many years, weren't they? So that's not an insult in any way whatsoever.
Stevie did all right last year. No, I mean, I'm doing okay. People keep telling me I'm better than what I think I am. Because I beat myself up too much, if I'm being honest. I mean, I'm not going to be amazing, but I can skate, which is the main thing.
Important? What's that mean, important? 6 billion people live here. Is that important? Here's a better question. Is this world a threat to the Atraxi?
But yes, I mean, it was an extraordinary thing to film, it really was. The atmosphere on the set, as we filmed it, was amazing. You could have heard a pin drop, and which was great because, you know, we're not the only storytellers. The whole team on the floor are the storytellers, and they really wanted to tell the story well and finish the story well.
Couldn't wait to have a boy because as much as, you know, I love my girls with all my heart, I was sick of trying to put a bikini on a Barbie. Honestly, it's graft, mate.
But it's a very close crew and a very close cast, and it's, dare I say it, it's enjoyable to do.
I think Chris takes... he's similar to Marcus, actually, in some funny ways. I think he hates him, but at the same time, he gets a similar pleasure in life out of putting Tim in difficult situations.
Well, I was over in LA doing a film, and I got an email off Hollyoaks, you know, just interested if I would be interested in coming back, and I was in the process of setting up an acting school in Manchester called First Take Media Group, and it just was the perfect time.
Winning Express exists to provide its members with tax-free returns, along with an earnings opportunity and a sense of enjoyment in simply belonging to a club that's dedicated to our mutual success.
A glorious day. Downing Street rebuilt. The cabinet in session. Let the work of government begin.
It's none of your business, that's why. Look, if you must know, Mum, you were right. You're always right. Well, so what? It's my life, you don't care about me.
I know, but what you have done, what you're capable of now, it scares me. What happens when you turn on me, on Dad?
It was difficult to keep him behind, but I just managed to, in the important place that you need to have a good traction, just managed to have a good line to open a little bit the gap on that place because he was the most dangerous place on the track, you know.
I've collected a ragbag bunch of maniacs throughout time. It's like, it's really funny when we all get in the same room together, because we're all, you know, it's nice that we all get on as people, but as characters, there's a lot of really big personalities in there.
And she brings in the post, and it contains a letter from Switzerland, which he opens, and he finds out that his girlfriend, who died in the mountains because she fell 50 years before, that her body has been found.
No, I wasn't talked into that decision. That was my decision. I approached Russell T Davies. I emailed him and said, I know you're going to do this. I think you should think about me. Because I'd acted a lot for adults. And I wanted to do something for children.
Malcolm's problem, I suppose, in this show is that he's relatively well adjusted. He can cope with killing people. He can cope with guilt. Yes, he'll have some bad memories and some bad dreams, but he's not got these weird psychoses that make everybody else so interesting.
Yes, correct. Yeah, she just blind panic. She's amazing with his daughter, played by April, played by the wonderful Amelia. You know, Carly's amazing with his daughter, and it's one of the reasons he's realised that she is the one he's constantly looking to sort of complete this circle of his family.
You know, at lunchtime, it was basically, for me, Gambon story time, because I didn't say a word pretty much every lunchtime. I was just letting them talk about the time they worked with Brando or Pacino and...
Well, the sitcom, I guess, is as much about Larry David, who wrote it with him, and my favourite character is George, who I think is based on Larry David, and then you see that in Curb Your Enthusiasm as well.
Hey, I'm not disappointed at all. It's fine. I came second. I haven't come second in anything ever. The only thing I've ever come second in was a competition where only 2 people competed. So I am over the moon.
Can't get away from it, mate. Can't get away from it. Love the outdoors, and when you guys were coming up, they said, yeah, let's go for a bit of a... You know, the Baywatch shoots, we don't need to do those anymore, mate, do we? We need to go and do some yakka out the back. So, yeah, and it was good. And we beat the sun, mate, thank God, which was good.
Just can't find the way out.
Does it feel that long?
That's the problem. No, it doesn't feel that long. I mean, I love it. I love the show. I love the fact that it's different every day. I love the fact that you can see something on the news and be talking about it the next day or that day. It's really immediate, so it's a great job to have.
And he was really nice, actually. I'd not really met a Hollywood movie star before, I don't think, and it was great because he was really like friendly, and he said, and I didn't have any lines in it. I was just like a pickpocket. I don't know if anybody's ever seen that film, but we were down in Pinewood and they reconstructed the Strand. It looked an amazing set.
No, it was a great story to play. And when we were, myself and Jesse were with our new exec producer, Dommett, brilliant. He said, we're going to do a storyline. And it wasn't sure who was going to do the fire. We knew there was going to be a fire. So near the time, we went, oh, it's Alfie. He's going to try and pull off this scam. And albeit just think it was going to be a bit of smoke damage, claim on the contents, but of course the whole house goes bang.
Well, it would do if we had any sugar, but unfortunately we ran out New Year's Eve 1915. Since when I've been using sugar substitute.
The Pagani Zonda is my favourite supercar. But it's been around for a decade now. And for the last few years, Pagani have been promising again and again that they'll replace it with a brand new car.
Well, at the time, the show was about to have its sort of renaissance. So I knew about it as a kid, but I wasn't, you know, one of the hardcore fans. So when I got the call, I was just thrilled because it was my first, you know, kind of big acting job.
That interrogation scene took all day to shoot, and without question, as you could probably see, it was the hardest passage of dialogue I've ever had to learn for any job I've been involved in. But sensational writing from Jed Mercurio, our writer.
You know, it's depressing being a kid. I saw this the other day, it nearly killed me. It's a kid who was about 8 years old in a cafe with his mum. He went, here, Mum, doesn't matter how many of these you eat. He was eating a fun-sized Mars bar. Doesn't matter how many of these you eat, it never leads to fun. How depressing is that? It's not a happy meal. Life is suffering, Russell, life is suffering.
I often get asked after the show, the most common question after a show is, what's the most offensive joke? What's the worst joke? Now, I don't think I can tell you the most offensive joke. Because I think offence is taken, not given. That's not just an expression. That is how it tends to work. Different people take offence at different things. So I can't tell you what the most offensive joke is. But we could see.
We've been making documentaries about gangs around the world, and that came about by fluke. I met a guy who'd been shot, who was a member of the Bloods, who'd been shot 27 times, and I didn't believe anyone could be shot 27 times. So when I met him and found out he had been shot that many times, quite fascinating. And the fact that if he'd been born maybe 15 blocks north or south, he probably wouldn't have ended up becoming a member of the Bloods.